this is the Chicago neighborhood of Lakeview. This is my home, and this is home to so many of my friends and clients. I'm going to show you two of my favorite neighborhood businesses, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So join me.
This single building has paid 2 mortgages for the last 15, 20 years.
I wanted to make some sort of an impact in people's lives.
Since day one, we've always been very involved in the community because I definitely believe that small business can make a difference.
Welcome to the latest episode of Selling Chicago. I'm your host, Nick Liebert, a realtor working in our beautiful city for over 2 decades. Selling Chicago is a positive show centered around real estate, lifestyle, and culture. Today, we're continuing our momentum highlighting the beautiful Lakeview neighborhood. Let's check out this month's episode right now.
The search is over, baby. I'm right here, and I got it.
Hi, I'm Nick Liebert, and welcome to Selling Chicago. I've been a real estate broker for over 23 years with a mission to empower lives through property.
I got it.
My goal is to show you episode by episode some of the beautiful neighborhoods of Chicago, highlight some of my favorite businesses, and of course, show you some of Exit Strategy Realty's finest listings.
I got it.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of Selling Chicago. I'm Nick Liebert, your host, and this is the Chicago neighborhood of Lakeview. This is my home, and this is home to so many of my friends and clients. I'm very excited to show you several things today. Some of it smart and sexy, some of it just smart. We're going to talk about multi-unit housing, how you can buy an entire building basically for the same amount of money down or the same percentage down as a condo or a single family home and have a much bigger return on investment. I'm going to show you 2 of my favorite neighborhood businesses, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So join me. So we are here today with my friend and fellow exit realtor, John Corry. John is a fantastic agent specializing in, shouldn't say specializing, but a lot of your inventory is multi-unit buildings. And he's been getting a lot of listings right here in Lakeview. And this one is actually special because this is one you own yourself.
Yes. Purchased it in 2001, so had it for a while now.
And this is a 2-unit building. How many beds, how many baths, John?
4 bed, 3 bath on the duplex up, and then a 2 bed, 1 bath down.
So the neat thing is that what John has done is, as a realtor, he's monetized not only helping out other people buy, sell, and invest in real estate, but he's also invested for himself. I really encourage everyone that has a real estate license own a piece of the action as well. The joy of a multi-unit building, it's not always the sexiest. We're gonna walk through with John in a minute here. John originally did live here in one of the units, so you can buy into the building and buy an entire building with the same amount of percent money down that you would for a condo or a single family home, so your return on investment is much higher. We call that house hacking. So John, for you, how important has this been to be a real estate investor as well as a realtor?
It's been a game changer for me. This single building has paid 2 mortgages for the last 15, 20 years.
So one of the genius things about house hacking is you have multiple exit strategies. And yes, there is a pun intended there. Number one, you can obviously live in the 1 unit, rent out the rest, and have the tenants pay all of your mortgage or most of your mortgage. You can also pull equity out of the property as you improve it and the property appreciates over time. And then the other two exit strategies out there are you can deconvert a multi-unit building into a single family home and sell it for $1 million, $2 million around in this neighborhood. But then also you could split these up into condominiums. Now I've had people they've taken their building down, they've demolished it, and their land is worth so much they've built new construction and done a condominium building or something else. But many ways to monetize and make money in real estate investing. It's so smart to do the house hacking, buy the whole building, live in one unit, rent out the rest, and then later on, you can obviously do great things with it as a consumer or as a realtor, being smarter with your license, right, John?
Yes, that's what I'm doing now.
So we seem to have a reoccurring theme. If you watched episode 1, I was in the shower and my client was right outside the shower. We now got John in his master bathtub of his one of his units. And John, you are doing some work in here obviously right now. Tell us what you're doing.
Well, when I purchased this, I was a bachelor and I thought, you only need a single bowl. Well, guess what? I wasn't thinking. So as things go and you realize down the road what renters want, it's a double bowl in the master bathrooms. So this is in process. This is one of these things that you have to do as a multi-unit owner, as a rental owner, is make updates, because even though people aren't buying, they still want updated amenities.
Exactly, and the more you put into the property, the more you're going to get back out, not only in terms of appreciation of the building's worth, but also your rents. So if you can find a way to increase the rents through improving the property, that's going to increase your overall return on investment over time.
Absolutely.
If you had any advice for a buyer looking to invest in a multi-unit building or a realtor looking to start to build a portfolio, what would be your best piece of advice?
My best piece of advice would be keep up with the property. Do not be an absentee landlord. Part of your value and equity that you work so hard for, you're going to let it go if you don't keep up with things. You have to have regular updates on bathrooms, kitchen, appliances, and in this case, I'm making some improvements on the master bedroom in this wonderful fireplace I have.
And I can tell you from being an absentee landlord and making some pretty critical mistakes as one, don't do that. Follow what John's advice is. And I'll tell you again, John, thank you so much for being here today. Everyone else, we are now going to go to 2 really fun spots in the neighborhood. So we've had some great time where you can monetize the experience of being an owner. And now I get to show you some of the fun things to do in the neighborhood. This is a special treat. I'm here with my good friend, Dusty Carpenter. Dusty is Director of Operations for Another Round Restaurant Group. They are also the owners of DS Tequila, which is where we are at today. Dusty and I have been friends for over 11 years.
Yeah, it's 11 now.
11 years. The organization does an amazing job of entertaining in the community. They also have a lot of charity involvement. My company, Exit Realty, we have partnered with DS Tequila to do a toy drive in the past. That's also where we throw our after parties for our holiday party every year. Talk to us about the involvement between your organization and Lakeview.
There's quite a few. Me and one of the partners are both on the North Halsted Business Alliance board, which runs the Chamber of Commerce that runs all of North Halsted. So for Pride Fest, Market Days, the Halloween Parade. So we're very involved in that. Since day one, we've always been very involved in the community, because I definitely believe that small business can make a difference.
And that's something that is not always in every neighborhood or in every organization. The incredible involvement in the community, particularly with the LGBTQ youth and all the things that you guys have done, we really, really appreciate it as a community. What are your next plans as a restaurant group and as an organization?
We have several things going. We're getting ready to open a new concept called Crispy Chicks. We originally started it as a ghost kitchen that was just doing takeout during the pandemic. The sales were so great on it that we've been building out this summer the physical location.
Amazing. And then also you, of course, you personally are behind Pride in the Park,
Yes.
which is an amazing event every year in the summertime. How many people came to Pride in the Park this year? What was your
So
attendance?
this was our second year. We had 17,000 people through the gates on Saturday and 12,000 people through the gates on Sunday.
And I can tell you from personal experience, myself and many clients had a lot of fun. So thank you, Dusty, for everything you and your organization do for the Lakeview community and for the LGBTQ plus community at large.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Well, it is that time in the world, so we're taking our masks off and we're unmasking one of my favorite businesses in the Lakeview neighborhood, and they actually are my neighbor. Joanna Slusky, doctor of optometry, owns the Halsted Eye Boutique, this beautiful location we have right here. Joanna, welcome to Selling Chicago.
you.
What made you choose this particular neighborhood over others when you were looking at a place to put your location?
So I acquired the location back in 2007. What I loved besides the space itself with a lot of window front was the fact that it has just such a community feel.
What made you choose optometry as a career path?
As a matter of fact, it was my grandfather. Almost 2 decades ago, he actually got diagnosed with an eye tumor from an eye exam.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So he went in for just a regular checkup. He wasn't having any sort of a visual issue. Went in and got diagnosed with an eye tumor, which happened to have been a metastasis from prostate cancer.
Wow.
So it made an incredible impact on me and the rest of the family, of course. But as I grew up, as I went to college and then transitioned into figuring out what I wanted to do with myself thereafter, I wanted to make some sort of an impact in people's lives.
One of the things I really appreciate about Dr. Joanna is that she has such a passionate approach to the holistic way of not only doing your job as an optometrist, but then also the style, the fashion, everything about your business is just so well-rounded.
Thank you.
In the vein of betterment, what would you say is the most important thing you would like to tell your clients or to the audience out there as far as eye health? One tip for them that they need to follow.
Be proactive. Rather than be reactive, be proactive. Just because we can stop issues from progressing to an unmanageable level, whether it be a child that's 3 years old or an adult that's 103, as long as I have a set of eyes in front of me, I'm going to do the best thing possible to make sure that all of the aspects of overall health and eye health are being addressed. So from a holistic perspective, we look at it at the overall person, the overall activities, job, visual experience, medications, diet, lifestyle, everything combined. If we are being proactive rather than reactive, I'm able to address you sooner. I'm able to discover challenges that you might be experiencing.
When would you say is a good frequency of exams?
Absolutely once a year, but in some cases, I see patients more frequently.
Definitely, I need to come here more. We hope you join us, Dr. Slusky. I really appreciate your time
thank
today.
you.
Thank you very
Absolutely.
much. So there you have it, folks, the Lakeview neighborhood. It's where I found myself. So many of my friends and clients have found themselves, founded businesses, and I hope you found some value in today's episode. Next episode, we're going to the south side of Chicago. We're going to be talking about green and renewable energy, some really exciting things going on there. So stay tuned to the next episode of Selling Chicago. I'm Nick Leiber, your host. Thank you for being here. Hey everyone, we are back here at Exit Realty where all the action happens, and I have a good friend with me today. Her name is Marla. She is one of my premier mortgage lenders. We've been working together for over a decade, more than a dozen years now. I don't think either one of us were at the companies we are now at, even though we've both been at our current firms for a long time. We started working together on rehab loans, which of course we discussed in episode 1 of Selling Chicago. Today though, we're talking about something much closer to home to me. That is the concept of house hacking, where you can buy an entire building, 2, 3, 4 unit building for little money down, less money down, and potentially much higher buying power than just a traditional condo or single family home. So I'm not the expert here, Marla is. I would love to turn it over to you and have you talk to us a little bit more about this idea.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, this is, in my opinion, hands down the best investment you can make. It's very easy to qualify. A lot of people have a misconception that if you're buying a 2-unit, 3-unit, or 4-unit building, that you'll need a lot of money and it will be very difficult to qualify. And nothing is further than the truth. These loans allow you to have 3.5% down payment, sometimes even less if you use down payment assistance programs. And the reason they're actually easier to qualify for is because we can use the rental income you're going to collect on the other units as part of your income to qualify you. So you'll be living in one unit and renting the others, and that will actually make it easier to qualify, easier to get in the door, and then the result is that you have the rental income to help pay your mortgage. So in some cases, your rental income may be high enough that it covers the whole mortgage and you live for free. In other cases, it may actually be higher than the mortgage, so you live for free and collect some income. And in other cases, it may not quite cover it, where you pay a small share of the mortgage yourself, but it's typically much less than you would pay for a comparable unit if you were renting or owning just a single unit.
So this is an amazing concept because number one, I've talked before, maybe with some of you. If you've not met me before, I've got some great videos on YouTube along with Marla starring in some of them, where I talk about, first of all, it's always smart to get a roof over your head, and that's what I call mattress money. You're building equity and an investment in your future over time by buying a place to live. And that hopefully will appreciate as you're also paying down on the mortgage. But the genius about house hacking is you are not only doing mattress money, but what I call mailbox money, which is for a lot of us, if you've ever read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that is a book that tells you eventually we all want out of the rat race, so to speak, and we all want an exit strategy, which is why I named this company this, and I really believe in it. This is getting you the mattress money and the mailbox money all in one transaction. And it's just an incredible return on your investment, or ROI, as a lot of the investors talk. Marla, you mentioned at the beginning about as little as 3.5% down, and I want to booknote that because some of my clients immediately ask me, well, what about closing costs? Now, a lender's going to be able to tell you what your closing costs are, but I, as the realtor, can tell you that a lot of times even in a competitive market, if you put your offer together properly, you will be able to potentially negotiate the seller to pay your closing costs as well. And Marla, what is the percentage? I know each loan type is different. What is the percentage on average or overall that you can ask a seller to pay?
So this type of loan we're discussing is an FHA loan. And FHA loans allow up to 6% of the purchase price. So if it's a $200,000 purchase, you can ask for up to $12,000 of closing costs. Now, the credit cannot exceed the actual cost. So on a case-by-case basis, of course, we have to review the costs to make sure you're negotiating the right amount. But Nick and I have lots of clients who have bought properties with no closing costs because the seller covers all of it. And it's actually pretty easy to come up with the down payment. There are a number of options. A lot of people use their income tax returns in the spring when they get those. You can take loans against your 401k or other retirement accounts. You can get gifts from family, that's acceptable. So usually coming up with 3.5% isn't too difficult. Like some people have misconceptions about 20%. That would take quite a while for most people to save that much.
Absolutely. And for those of us that are looking to, even if we have the money down, why not turn around and maybe invest that money elsewhere, keep that in your savings? So again, this is such a huge return on investment. So Marla, one of the things that my clients ask me regularly is about maybe a building that has some damage to it. It's not going to qualify for the FHA appraisal or the inspection. If you're looking at properties like that, there's actually a great solution for you as well. Talk to us just a minute about rehab loans. We did cover this in episode 1, but Marla has a little bit more detail for you.
Yes, so rehab loans allow you to include the money to buy the property as well as fix up the property. And that is also eligible with a multi-unit property. The average property in Chicago is about 70 or 80 years old. So chances are it may need some work if it wasn't a recent rehab, and that's fine. You can include all of that money in the loan, and the contractor will get paid directly to fix up the property right after you buy it.
Wonderful idea there with being able to cover a lot of what may not be possible in your savings account, but with a rehab loan, you package all that together with these record low interest rates. This is much cheaper than going to Home Depot or a place like that and swiping your credit card, paying those bank credit card interest rates. Instead, just wrap it into your mortgage and again, be able to do that over the course of the loan. So this is a nationwide program, but here in Chicagoland, we have the luxury of having a little bit higher loan limits. So there is the capability to find some great inventory out there. Marla, can you give us what the Chicagoland mortgage rates are? I know this is pretty specific information.
Sure, so I've got the Cook County numbers here. So in Cook County, which covers Chicago, a 2-unit building the loan can go up to $485,800, and then of course your down payment is on top of that. So you could buy a property up to around $500,000, and if it's higher, you can just fill the difference with a slightly higher down payment. A 3-unit property can go up to $587,250, and a 4-unit property can go up to $729,800. So the numbers are pretty generous, and in a lot of neighborhoods in Chicago, that will buy you a very nice property, often very spacious and safe areas.
That's wonderful information to know, and I've seen some 3- and 4-unit buildings, even in some neighborhoods that people think are very pricey, that are actually the prices are coming down a bit. So talk to your Exit Realty agent. We have lots of ways to get you into different properties. We've got some great apps that are free for you. So when we talk about exit strategy in the term of these big multi-unit buildings, one of the things that I love is that you can get some sweat equity later on as you've turned it into more of a nice apartment grade or even a condo grade building with the finishes and the electrical and the plumbing. Guess what you can do? You can actually convert them into condos. Talk to your agent. We can set you up with a great attorney that can help with that. Really a wonderful exit strategy to split up the pins and actually separate these into individual condos to sell. But overall, even if none of that's happening, guess what is happening? You're appreciating over time, and you also have the potential to just sell it as a building once you've lived there. How long, Marla? A year?
Well, if you're going to sell it, there really isn't a restriction on how long you need to own the building. But if you want to keep the building and rent it after you move out, that requires a year. If you live in the property as your primary residence for a year, which is what we're discussing, house hacking, after a year, you have no obligation to stay in the property. So you can move out and rent the unit you were living in and now have additional cash flow and move on to your next purchase.
So everyone, we are so excited about those of you that are thinking about doing house hacking. I have more videos online, some of them with Marla. We go into a lot of this more in depth. You can always contact me. My video and information is below. But then also, Marla, you have great ways to contact you as well. What's the best way for people to get in contact with you if they need a great lender for house hacking?
The best way is email, which is Marla, M-A-R-L-A, .Barch, B-A-R-C-H, @myccmortgage.com. I'm also available by phone or text, 773-617-2424.
And again, find her on YouTube with me in some videos. Thank you so much for considering house hacking as an investment strategy. Your Wicker Park urban oasis has arrived on the market. Nestled on a tree-lined street, literally steps from the dining, restaurants, and nightlife of Division Street, this sought-after 3-bed, 2.5-bath duplex-up penthouse has the soaring 18-foot ceilings, stunning city views, and multiple private decks you've been looking for. Incredible light shines in from all 4 exposures, not the least of which is the 2-story living room with an expansive, uberly dramatic wall of windows and a combination wood and gas fireplace that begs to be entertained in. The kitchen features stainless appliances, an expansive breakfast bar, and on top of that, you'll find an incredible loft space perfect for a home office, home gym, or library. This is the unit for you if you want to steal. A straight east view to Lake Michigan and the lowest priced 2-bedroom, 2-bath in famed Park Place Tower. Come check out the oversized pool, the basketball court, the outdoor green space, barbecue grills, a brand new fitness center with one of the largest selections of equipment around, luxurious common areas, access to the large grocery store on site, and much more. You literally never have to leave the building, and you have instant equity built in, an investor-friendly unit. This is the one for you if you want a great price and also want to make it your own. Incredible location, incredible deal. This bright and sunny East Rogers Park 2-bedroom condo features solid wide plank hardwood floors, granite, stainless appliances, and updated cabinets in the gorgeous kitchen, an in-unit washer dryer, and much more. For payments cheaper than rent, that's right, under $200,000, you get 2 spacious bedrooms, great closet space in both, including a double closet in the master, and plus a bonus room, great for a home office, home gym, or more. Speaking of extra space, there's even a bonus storage space in the basement private to the unit. You can easily rent the unit out after your first 18 months, and this new home is ready for you.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Selling Chicago. I'm your host, Nick Liebert. Don't forget to follow me on social media to engage in the conversation and tell me what you'd like to see featured next. You can check out so much more of Chicagoland at our brokerage website, exitsellschicago.com. Until next time, cheers to all your real estate dreams.
Hello and welcome. This is the Chicago neighborhood of Lakeview. This is my home, and this is home to so many of my friends and clients.